Alright guys, looks like we're gonna start now. I woke up at 9, probably not starting yet. I had an alarm clock either. Maybe that's why I was a bit late. But by the way, I woke up at 9:20 with no alarm, which led to me oversleeping. Interesting stories, guys. Sorry about the timing. I thought the best way to get out of yesterday's jam of not having the work done was to make the session earlier because I can't have it later. I hope, well, I'm speaking a little far away from the microphone right now, so it might not work so well now, but I hope I have fixed the microphone issues. I hope the internet issues are fine also. You guys should have access to the sound, and you should have access to the video. You will have to watch us end at 1 o'clock or 1:30. Yeah, I ran to the bathroom and ran back. I mean, it usually happens. So, okay, it was hard though. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. We did all good walking from really Mazzetti ran. Okay, 9:15. No alarm clock. Oh, funny stories, guys. Okay. Um, schools. And I wish I could wear as long as school hours. Okay. Alright guys, there's a couple things that I'm waiting for on my computer and just in terms of like my 3 display thing. Is one of them is giving me a problem, but that's not really an issue. We could very well get started now, so why not, right? Alright, just make sure everyone's here, just give me your names again. My chat feature isn't working out actually, but I have kind of found like a fix for that, so that's perfectly fine. But are there any questions, guys? Any questions before we get started? Any questions? It's just that my chat feature isn't, I don't know why, but it's not working out as well as it thought it would, but who knows, right? But okay, let's get started. So yesterday we were working on the Namaste book. I always gonna get ready. I'm never late for school. Interesting. Well, now it's the summertime, so I guess people are a little bit more lazier than that. But that's perfectly fine, right? Sorry for making it so early today. I hope that 10:30 or 10 a.m. wasn't that early, but whatever it is, right? Usually sessions are going to begin at 11. This is just try to compensate for tomorrow's or yesterday's session. Okay. I am going to try my best to try to moderate the Q&A because that didn't work out last time, but I feel like this time it will work out. All right. If there's any questions now, hopefully I'm just going to adjust the audio level a little bit just in case you can't hear. Anything else, guys? We should get started now. All right. Cool. What grade is this paper? This test is for 8th graders that are, well, for rising 8th graders, or rising 7th graders, or incoming 8th graders. Who is Jack? What grade is this paper? Okay. Any questions, guys, so far? Let's get started. My parents wake me awake and I keep an alarm on, which usually works, and I mean, usually not always. Alright, guys, let's get started. Alright, guys, enough of the chit-chat, right? Let me just get the audio in check, and then we should be able to get started. I believe yesterday's was just try to just go through all of them, right? And I will try my best to do that. All right, so I've just plugged in the mic to make sure all the audio is good. Jack is Car Titanic. All right, guys, ready? Let's get started. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna have that feed coming in from the top. So all right, so let's see. Yesterday, well, let me see what I have here. Hopefully, I'm not moving stuff too much. Okay, so yesterday okay, guys, enough of the chit chat. Let's start getting onto the math, right? Namaste book. We're behind quite a bit, so let's really try to pick up our pace. Okay, so hopefully the audio is not jittery as yesterday. Hopefully the internet is better. Hopefully the video quality is better, and everything else is just fine. Tick for tack. Okay, now yesterday we did quite a bit. We didn't do too little actually. We did a substantial amount of the book. Obviously less than I wanted to do, but whatever. We're gonna get started on number 75 on test 1, which is I believe what did he say about bathroom breaks and the class ending time? Today's class is going to end at approximately 3 o'clock. Oh, and the later classes? What later classes?
Alright, number 75. The ratio of A to B is 7 to 9. What is the ratio of A plus 2 to the B plus 2? Now this is kind of interesting. What a lot of students will quickly do for this is that they'll be like, oh my gosh, this is A to B, 7 to 9. So we have 7 over 9, right? And then we were trying to find the ratio, and that's A over B. So people think, okay, well that must mean that the ratio for A plus 2 over B plus 2 is 7 plus 2 over 9 plus 2, right? Which is 9 over 11. Right? And then you're thinking, oh wow, so that's my answer. I see 9 to 11 and I'm going to pick A. But not quite, because ratios don't work like that. Let's say we know that the ratio of 7 to 9 is equal to the ratio of 14 to 18, right? They're the same ratio. Well, what if I added 2 to both sides over there, right? What if I added 2 there? Well, it'd be 16. Well, obviously that's not how you add fractions, but let's say I were to do that. It'd be 16 over 20, which is 8 over 10, which is 4 over 5. Now, 4 over 5 is not equal to 9 over 11. You can't add to ratios like that, guys, so E cannot be determined as correct. What later classes? Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. You're talking a lot of weird stuff. Maybe because it's 10:40 in the morning, but whatever. 20 is 20% of 20% of an integer. What is that integer? Well, let's think about it. So 20 is equal to 20% of 20% of an integer. So let's say of integer. Let me just put them in parentheses. Now, let's say I want to find 100%, right? Obviously, I want to find that integer, right? I want to find this integer right here. So how do I do that? Well, let's say I multiply this by 5. Why do I do that? Because 5 times 20% is 100%, and that's going to give me all of this, all of this. So 5 times 20%, we got to multiply by 5 here too. 5 times 20 is 100. So now I'm left with 100 is equal to 20% of an integer. I'm just left with this now, this little bit. That gets moved down. Now, I don't want 20% of an integer. I want that integer. Well, I can do multiply by 5. Multiply by 5. Same logic as last time, because 5 times 20% is 100%, and that 100% is all of the integer, right? So multiply by 5. We're left with 500 is that integer. Got it, guys? Not bad. No problem, Juhan. All right, moving on. Number 77. We have this interesting shape here. The figure above consists of two congruent isosceles triangles. If AB is equal to 5, so AB is equal to 5, and AC is equal to 8, AC is equal to 8. Interesting. What is the area of the quadrilateral ABCD? Well, if you think about it, this quadrilateral is made up of two isosceles triangles, but 4 triangles nonetheless, right? So if you take a look, let's say I'm going to do this. So I'm going to create that diagonal that goes through the middle. Well, now that's going to split this 8. You see how AC was 8, so now this is going to be 4 and 4. Whoa, we have a right triangle, right? And 5, 4, what must this be? What must this thing over here be? Well, it must be 3. 3 times 4 is 12. So how do you find the triangle? 3 times 4 is 12. That's going to be, wait, how am I doing that? It's going to be base times set over 2, right? So that's going to be 3 times 4 over 2. 12 over 2 is 6. So that's 6, that's 6, that's 6, and that's 6. Well, how do I find the area of the entire shape? Well, that's 4 times 6, which is 24. 77, got it, guys? Not so bad. Okay. Moving right along. 78. If 3 to the 2 plus x is equal to 3 to the 6 minus 3x, well, what's x? Well, a couple ways I could do this, but the easiest way is, hey, if this number is equal to this number and they have the same base, that must mean their exponents must be the same. Like, for example, 2 cubed can only really be equal to 2 to the what? Cube can't be equal to 2 to the 4th or 2 to the 5th, right? Because that'd be a different number. Well, 2 cubed is equal to 2 cubed. So that means that these two exponents are equal. So these two exponents must also be equal. So 2 plus x is equal to 6 minus 3x. Add 3x, add 3x. We're left with 2 plus 4x is equal to 6. Subtract 2, subtract 2. 4x equals 4. Divide by 4, divide by 4, x equals 1. That's what they wanted me to find. They wanted me to find x, and I found it. X is 1. Wonderful. Let's move on. 79. A box contains 4 red cards, 6 blue cards, and 10 green cards. What is the smallest number of cards we must remove from the box? Wait, Naeem, for number 77, you got what? B for 77. Not sure why you got B, but the idea is that well, let me just try to erase some stuff and rework it a little bit. Just cleaning it up a little bit. We were given that's 5, and we were given that all of that is 8. When we draw a diagonal, it splits at 8 into 4 and 4. Pythagorean triplets, 4, 5, that must be 3. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. That's 6. That must be 6 also. That's 6 also, and that's 6. So 6 times 4 is 24. Got it, guys? The idea is that the area of this AB, this triangle right here, right? AB, let's call this E. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So the area of this triangle is 6, right? And there's 4 of these triangles. So 6 times 4 is 24. Got it? The area of this entire shape is 24 because the area of 1/4 of the shape is 6. The height is 3. The base is 4. How is the height 3? Because the diagonal split this AC into 2, and it was 8 originally, so now it's 4 and 4, and then 4 times 3 is 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. How do we get 3? Well, this was 4, this was 5. It's a right triangle, so it must follow the Pythagorean triplet, 3, 4, 5. And that's 78. Moving on, 79. A box contains 4 red cards, 6 blue cards, and 10 green cards. What is the smallest number of cards we must remove from the box to make sure we have 2 cards of the same color? Well, let's take a look. Well, we have to figure out the smallest number of cards we're going to remove, right? Well, let's say we remove 1 card. Well, we can't obviously get 1 card for the same color, so let's remove 2 cards. But what's going to happen is that we are going to get 1 card. Well, we can get 1 red and 1 blue. That's not going to help us, right? How about if we remove 3 cards? Well, if we remove 3 cards, well, we can be left with 3 red cards, right? And we don't know how we'd get 3 red cards. Well, we don't want 3 red cards. We want 2 cards of the same color. Well, we could have 1 red card, 1 blue card, 1 green card, and that won't help. So 4 cards is the answer. Why is 4 cards the answer? Because let's say in the worst case scenario, you always want to think about the worst case scenario here. You get 1 red on your first draw. You get 1 blue on your second draw. You get 1 green on your third draw. You drew 3 cards already, and guess what? You don't have 2 cards of the same color, right? But when you draw that 4th card, whether it be a red, blue, or green, you're going to get double of either green or blue or red, depending on what this 4th card is, right? So when you draw 4 cards, you're going to have double of 1 color. Has to be. Got it, guys? Moving on. 80. 36 divided by 12 minus 3 times 2 minus 2 plus 15 divided by 5 minus 10. This is just a lot of PEMDAS. Let's do it. Parentheses first. So 36 divided by 12 minus 3 is 9 times 2 minus 2 plus 15 divided by 5 minus 10. Now multiplication and division left to right. 36 divided by 9 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. So 8 minus 2 plus 15 divided by 5 is 3, plus 3 minus 10. 8 minus 2 is 5, 5 plus 3 is 8, 8 minus 10. Oh, 8 minus 2 is 6, 6 plus 3 is 9, 9 minus 10 is negative 1. Got it, guys? So 80 is F. 8 minus 2 is 6, 6 plus 3 is 9, 9 minus 10 is negative 1. Got it, guys? Moving on. 81. Max is reading a book. He has always read 1/4 of the book. If the book stopped at the top, if he stopped at the top of page 67, how many pages are there in the book? Wait, explain 79 again. The session started already. Okay. Well, 79. The idea here is that you always want to think about the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario is that you have picked 3 cards and none of the 3 cards are the same color. So, one red, one blue, one green. That's the worst case scenario because you want to make sure that you have at least 2 cards. So you have to think about the worst case scenario. So, one red, one blue, one green. Now, wait, what are you thinking? So one red, one blue, one green. That's the worst case scenario. And I have drawn 3 cards and still don't have 2 cards same color. But when I draw that 4th card, whether it's red, whether it's blue, or whether it's green, I'm going to either get double red if that card is red, I'm going to get double blue if that 4th card is blue, and I'm going to get double green if that 4th card is green. But I just want 2 cards of the same color. It doesn't matter what color it is. So when I get 2 cards of that red, blue, or green, I'm going to get it when I get that 4th card because I'm thinking about the worst case scenario. Got it? This is the worst case scenario, and 4 draws later, I'm left with 2 cards of the same color. Got it? So it's not that bad. Moving on, 81. Max is reading a book. He has always read 1/4 of the book. If he stopped at the top of page 67, whoa. So he stopped at the top of page 67. That's pretty much saying he finished 66 pages because he didn't read 67. He didn't read page 67. So he read page 1 to 66. Well, page 1 to 66. Well, 66 pages is 1/4 of the book. So that's 1/4 of book. Multiply by 4. Multiply by 4. 132 to 64. Got it, guys? So 81 is B. Moving on. 82. Which of the following numbers is the reciprocal of 0.4? Interesting. No, Lalone, for 79, we're not making an assumption. We're not. We're thinking about the worst case scenario. That's the number of cards we need to make sure that we have 2 cards same color. In any other scenario, those scenarios are better because the best scenario is this. She gets 1 red card and then another red card, or 1 blue card and then another blue card, and that's only 2 cards. Right? But we have to make sure that we have 2 cards. Does that make sense? We have to make sure we can't presume that we're gonna have 2 cards or not gonna have 2 cards, but we have to make sure that we're gonna have 2 cards. Okay. Now, which of the following numbers is the reciprocal of 0.4? Well, 0.4 is 4/10. Do the contrapositive of that. That's 10 over 4, which is, well, 2 and 2/4, which is 2.5, which is Shay. 83. 10 minus 10 to the x is 9.9. Find x. Well, honestly, this is not too bad because well, you could kind of like do this like normally. Like, let's say you had subtract 10, negative 10 to the x is equal to negative 0.1, multiply by negative 1, multiply by negative 1, 10 to the x is equal to 0.1. Now, 0.1 is 1/10. 10 to the x is equal to 1/10. You should know the exponent law, that's a to the negative m is equal to 1 over a to the m. So let's say like 3 to the negative 2 is 1 over 3 squared. So 10 to the x is equal to 1 to 1 over 10. So what must x be? Well, x must be negative 1. Moving on. 84. Okay. 4 lines on the plane have at most n. So you want to have every line intersect every other line as many times as possible. So say you have 1, then you have 2. Then you have to create a way to hit 3, but you can't. So got it? And then you want to have 4. Well, 1, 2, 3, and then you want to just have 4. So there we go. Now, let's take a look. How many do you have? Well, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there we go. There's no 5 option. Do I have the maximum? Oh, there's 6 right there. There. Do 81 and 82 again. Max is reading a book. He has always read 1/4 of. He has always read 1/4 of. Already read 1/4 of the book. He stopped at the page of 67. How many pages are in the book? He stopped at the top of page 67. That means that he didn't read page 67 yet, so he read 66 pages. So when it says he read 1/4 of the book, he read 66 pages, and those 66 pages were 1/4 of the book. So multiply by 4, there's 264 pages in the book. Number 82, which of the following is reciprocal of 0.4? Well, the reciprocal is when you flip a fraction, right? So 0.4 is 4/10. I flip that, that becomes 10/4. So reciprocal is when you do that, when you take the numerator, make it the denominator, make it the numerator. So 4/10 becomes 10/4. And then 10/4 becomes 2 2/4, which is 2 1/2. And then 2 1/2 is 2.5. Okay, number 85. T to the 4th is equal to 9,381. If t to the 4th equals 9,381, between which two integers does t lie? Interesting. Well, we know that t to the 4th is like what? It's like 10,000, right? That must mean that in order to get 10,000, you must have like 100 times 100, right? So t squared is about 100. So that makes t about 10. Less than 100, less than 10, because that's less than 10,000. So 85 is easily A. '86. 83 is just rewind and try to watch it again, because I don't really want to go back and back, because that confuses up the order for people. But number 83 is just the idea that you subtract 10, you subtract 10. 9.9 minus 10 is negative 0.1. And so that means negative 10 to the x is equal to negative 0.1. Multiply by negative 1, multiply by negative 1. So 10 to the x equals 0.1. Well, 0.1 is just 1/10. So 0.1 is 1/10. So 10 to the x is equal to 1/10. You should know the exponent law, that's a to the m, a to the negative m is equal to 1 over a to the m. So 10 to the x equals 1 over 10. X must equal negative 1 for that to happen. '86. DCB is a right triangle and point A lies on the segment CD. if AC equals BC equals 2 and BD equals 4, find AD. Interesting. Well, you guys know that BC squared plus CD squared should be equal to BD squared because of the right triangle. So we know that BC is 2 squared plus CD squared is equal to 16. 4 plus CD squared is equal to 16. Subtract 4, CD squared is equal to 12, square root. CD is equal to square root 12. Square root 12 is square root 4 times square root 3. Square root 4 times square root 3 is 2 radical 3. So that must mean that what? That AD, well, not AD, but the entire CD is 2 radical 3. So how do you get AD? Well, you know that CD minus CA is AD. CD is 2 radical 3 minus 2 is AD. Got it, guys? Not so bad. All right, moving on. Over here. 87. H minus 5 squared equals to 49, where it's the following value of H minus 1. Interesting way to think, but here's two things you have to know. If H minus 5 squared is equal to 49, H minus 5 can equal negative 7, because negative 7 squared is 49, and H minus 5 can equal regular 7, or positive 7, because 7 squared is also 49. Plus 5, H is equal to negative 2, plus 5, H is equal to 12. Which one's an answer choice? Well, negative 2. 88. Just give me a second, guys. I'm just grab a bottle of water. All right, I'm back. So 88, line CD is 6 inches from line AB, and AB is parallel to CD. Point K is 4 inches from the line AB, and it's not between the two lines. How many points in line CD are exactly 10 inches from point K? These type of questions you really have to draw out and visualize, right? Well, line CD is 6 inches from the line AB. So let's say we have line AB. What's the line, right? It's not a line segment, so A, B. Now, we know that line CD is 6 inches from line AB. The distance is 6 inches. That took a while. Druhan said, the answer for 87 is actually D. Well, yeah, it should be. That's because H is negative 2. And we should know that it doesn't answer for H, it asks for H minus 1. So negative 2 minus 1. I believe I had that there, just wiped out for a second. Negative 2 minus 1 is negative 3. Right, I believe I had that there. Let me just see if I did. But then that would get rid of the lines. Just undoing a bit. Maybe it did. Okay. Now, we know what the distance between line AB and line CD. Yeah, below, that's right. But it doesn't ask for H, it asks for H minus 1. Right, yeah, exactly what Sanjita said, right? We got that H is equal to -2, and that's cool, that's good. But it says H minus 1, which is -2 minus 1, which is -3. All right. We know what line CD is 6 inches from line AB. AB is parallel to CD. Point K is 4 inches from line AB. Well, Sanjita said it also. But okay. Point K is 4 inches from line AB and not between the two lines. So 4 inches would put her between the two lines. So that must mean that she must be like over here. Right? In order to not be between the two lines and be 4 inches from line AB. How many points on line CD, that's line CD, are exactly 10 inches from point K? Well, if you think about it, this distance is going to be 4, and this distance is going to be 6. So there's only really one point there that's going to be exactly 1 away, right? Exactly 1 away, exactly 10 away. Got it? The point that's exactly perpendicular to that arbitrary point. So we know there's only one point, which is going to be like right here, because it's a straight specific line. 89. A regular hexagon is inscribed into a circle. Oh, that's going to be difficult to draw. Find the length of the side of the hexagon if the radius of the circle is 12. It's going to be a tough one to draw, but okay. We'll see what we can do. I'm not done yet. I don't know what does that. Just have to just draw one of these. And then I just have to. There we go. Or something like that. Okay, something like that. Okay, so regular hexagon inscribed in a circle. Find the length of the side of the hexagon, right? Okay, well, we know the radius of the circle is 12, so let's just do that. That's the center. Center to one edge is 12. Everyone sees that? Well, that's just a bad line. Bad line. Okay. Now we know that that point right there is going to be 12, right? Now, if you take a look at a basic hexagon, you should know something. You should try to recognize something, and that something is that a hexagon. Well, how many degrees does a hexagon have? Well, if you take a look, a hexagon has. Well, that looks so disgusting compared to. What can you do? But a hexagon. Well, you should know how do you find the sum of how do we find each interior angle in a regular hexagon? Well, we do 180 times n minus 2 over n, right? And n is the number of sides, so just plug in 6. So 180 times 6 minus 2 over 6. Well, 6 minus 2 is 4. So 180 times 4 over 6. 6 into 180 is 30. 30 times 4 is 120. So that's each interior angle. Got it, guys? But then what happens is when you draw this line and you split that interior angle in half, this becomes 60. Let me zoom in a little bit. What happens is this becomes 60 and that becomes 60. Got it, guys? Then we have the 120. Now let's take a look. We know that there's one triangle here, two triangles, three triangles, four triangles, five triangles, and six triangles. So in the six triangles, if those six angles equal to, well, we know that this entire thing would be 360. So 6x, let's just say each angle is x, is equal to 360 divided by 6 divided by 6. X is equal to 60. So we know that each angle is 60. That's 60, that's 60. That must be 60 also. We have an equilateral triangle. So the radius of it is 12. That must be 12, and that must be 12. So one of the sides of the hexagon must be 12. That did take some time. Okay. Moving on. All right. The average of 5 unequal positive integers is 11. So guys, if the average of 5 numbers equals 11, how do we find the sum of those 5 numbers? Well, we would just multiply times 5, right? 5 times 11 is 55. Well, what is the largest possible value that any of those integers numbers can have? Well, we're going to have 4 with the smallest possible value, and then we'll be left with the fifth that's going to be lowered. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, how do we make these the smallest, and then so we can have that one be the largest? Well, we know that the sum is 55, and that's our only limit. Well, and there's just 5 unequal positive integers. Well, what's the smallest one? 1. Second smallest one, 3. Second smallest one, 5. Second smallest one, 7. 7 plus 3 is 10. 10 plus 5 is 15. 15 plus 1 is 16. So all of these add up to 16. In order for the 5 of them to have an average of 11, they must have a sum of 55. Well, 55 minus 16 is equal to 39. Got it? So they must have a difference. So this one must be 39. Got it? And now that, well, let's take a look. That's clearly not an answer choice, right? Clearly not an answer choice. So let's try to look at if there are any other possible things that we can do. Well, over here, take a look. It only says unequal positive integers. What do we put there? We put, well, odd numbers, right? We didn't really put positive integers. So we can make this even smaller. They don't have to be 1, 3, 5, 7. They could be 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Because that would just be positive integers. And that's the smallest for positive integers, right? So it shouldn't be minus 16. It should be instead 4 plus 3 is 7, 7 plus 2 is 9, 9 plus 1 is 10. 55 minus 10 would just be 45. That is an answer choice. Got it? So we shouldn't be subtracting the 5 odd numbers because the numbers don't have to be odd. They just have to be positive. Got it? And integers. That's fine. We're going to put the smallest for positive integers we can put here. So we're left with the largest here, which is going to be 45. 91. What is the value of 110% of 1/2? Well, 110% of 1/2 versus 1/2 of 1/4 of 64. Interesting. So work through this backwards, kind of. What's 1/4 of 64? 1/4 of 64 is 64 divided by 4, which is 16. What's 1/2 of 16? Well, 1/2 of 16 is just going to be 8. What's 110% of 8? Well, what's 10% of 8? Well, 10% of 8, just move the decimal, it's just 0.8. So 100% of 8, that's easy, is 8. So if you add them, this can become 110%, which is exactly what we want, of 8. That's equal to 8 plus 0.8, which is 8.8. Hi, Therefore, glad you can make it. 92. There are 210 rabbits at the farm. For every 5 gray rabbits, there are 2 white rabbits. How many white rabbits are at the farm? How do you do this? You add the number of patterns you add the number of terms in the pattern. So 5 plus 2 is 7. Then you divide 7 into 210, you get 30. This tells you that the pattern repeats 30 times, right? So you have 5 gray, 2 white, 5 gray, 2 white, 5 gray, 2 white, 5 gray, 2 white, 30 times, right? Now, how many white rabbits are at the farm? Well, the pattern repeats 30 times, and you have 2 white rabbits per time, 30 times 2 is 60. F. Moving on. 93. The average of 16 consecutive positive integers is 30.5. What is the average of the first 8 integers of this set? Well, if you take a look, if you know the average of 16 consecutive positive integers is 30.5, well, first of all, you know that ballistic look. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Well, if you think about it, you know that the average of they're consecutive. If the average equals median when you're talking about consecutive. Got it? Whether it be consecutive integers or consecutive even odd numbers, whether it be consecutive multiples. Average is equal to your median. So your median is equal to 30.5. Got it, guys? So median is going to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So right here. So this right here in between the 8th and the 9th term is going to be 30.5. So since we have consecutive positive integers, this is 30, this is 31. That's how you got 30.5. What's the average of the first 8 numbers? Well, that's going to be 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23. And instead of really having to do any averages because median equals average, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 26, 27. What's the average of 26 and 27? 26.5, right? So 93 is going to be B. Average equals median when you're talking about consecutive numbers. 91 is D. We did that. Dongshi. All right, moving on. 94. What is the smallest positive integer that is divisible by each of the integers from 3 to 7? Well, each of the integers from 3 to 7, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, has to be divisible by all of them. Interesting. Well, in order for something to be divisible by 3, the sum of the digits must add up to 3. All of them add up to 3, so that's off. In order for something to be divisible by 4, it must be even. So 21 is off, G is off. I don't think that it goes into 210 either, even though it's even. 20, and then, yeah. Moving on. 5, it must end in 0, will end in 0. 6, well, 6 times 10, 60, and then 24. That works. How about 7? 7, yeah, whoa. 5 works, 6 works, 6 goes into, oh, we're looking for the smallest positive integer, so obviously since both work, J is smaller, J gets a cake. 95 we did before. 96, 97, 98, 99, and 100 I believe we did before. Oh, we didn't do 97. Okay, let's do 97. When k is divided by 4, the remainder is 1. Just plug in a value for k. So 5, k can equal 5 because when 5 is divided by 4, the remainder is 1. What is the remainder when 3k minus 1 is divided by 4? Well, 3 times 5 minus 1. 3 times 5 is 15. 15 minus 1 is 14. So when 14 is divided by 4, you're left with 3, remainder 2. So they're asking for what's the remainder? Well, the remainder is 2. C. Got it, guys? Nothing difficult. Alright, guys. Looks like we're going to take a short break because we have just finished the first test. Got it, guys? If you have any questions, ask me now. Alright, guys. Break until 11:28. Got it, guys? Congrats on finishing the first test. Okay, I mean, we just finished 97. Got it? This is right now. All right, guys, back to work. Where are we? What questions did you ask? OPM, I'll get back to your email today. The answer for these, wait, explain 79 again. The session started. Which ones? What questions did you ask? Our guys, break's over, so we should get started again from math test 2. Any questions thus far? Alright, looks like we're going to go over the entire test 2 because Juhan said go over everything. Okay. Go over everything. Alright, let's do it. So we have 0.4 to the negative 2 to this negative 2 power divided by 0.6 to the negative 2 power. How do we fix this? How do we do this? Well, wait, Name, can you repeat what you just said? Oh, we didn't really see anything interesting. I am back. Everyone's back. Okay, good. We have 0.4 to the negative 2 power divided by 0.6 to the negative 2 power. So we're just going to get some work done. Right? That's all it said. Now, 0.4 to the negative 2 power. Well, that's going to be, well, 0.4 is 4/10. That's 4/10 to the negative 2 power divided by 6/10 to the negative 2 power. Well, now 4/10 to the negative 2 power, well, 4/10 is 2/5. So that's 2/5 to the negative 2 power divided by 3/5 to the negative 2 power. Yep, we are starting again. Nothing happened. Now, let's flip it because we have the negative sign. Let's flip it because we have the negative sign. So that becomes what? That becomes 5/2 squared divided by 5/3 squared. Right? Now, 5/2 squared, well, that's 5 squared, that's 25/4. Divided by 5 squared is 25/9. Now, you flip the second, now when you divide fractions, you keep change flip. So that's going to be 25/4 times 9/25. Cross out, cross out. You're left with 9/4. Right? Now 9/4 is 2 1/4, which is 2.25. Wait, Lillian, what question did you ask about Namaste? Just give me a second, guys. Okay, let's move on. 52. So let's take a look. 52. 52 says if a fish tank holds 6,912 inches of water, how many cubic feet of water are there in the fish tank? Well, a fish tank holds 6,912 cubic inches, right? When we want to convert that to cubic feet. So we know that 12 inches equals 1 foot. If you cube both sides, that must mean that, well, what's 144 times 12? Well, what's 12 cubed? I actually going to check the Namaste book and look at our work, and if you do, one really check it. I'm probably going to take it around Friday. Just make sure you have done all of it. Actually, no, I'm probably going to give you all of next week to finish it. The Namaste are difficult, so I understand that we have to take a little more time on them. Now, we have 12 inches equal to 1 foot. I want to know how many inches are equal to 1 cubic foot. So, calculator, 12 times 12, 1,728. So 1,728 cubic inches is equal to 1 cubic foot. Now, we have 6,912 cubic inches, so just divide. So what's 600,912 divided by 1,728? Can someone do that? Guys, come on. I expect someone to be able to do that. Come on, guys. Namaste, yeah, I'll be doing next week, not this week. Okay, moving on. So, no one did that. 6,912 divided by 1,728. Guys, come on, you have to do some work, right? Come on, let's do it. Alright, guys, moving on. Come on, guys. I see zero feedback, right, guys? You guys should be able to do 6,912 divided by 1,702, 1,728. Yes, Juhan 4. Good job. Moving on. 8H. 53. Anne has a piggy bank with 48 coins, all of which are dimes and nickels. The total amount of money in the piggy bank is $3.90. How many more dimes are there than nickels? Okay. Well, this is interesting. Well, we kind of have to do two equations here. Your first equation will be about value, and your second equation will be number of coins. If we're strictly talking number of coins, we know that the number of nickels plus number of dimes is equal to 48, right? Because there's 48 coins. Oh no, that's value. Put in the value. The number of coins, it should be nickels plus dimes is equal to 48. Now, if we're talking value, we know that each nickel is 0.05 and each dime is 0.1, and added up, well, 0.05 nickels plus 0.1 dimes, that's going to equal 390. So now we kind of have to set both equations equal to one another or something. So I'm going to play with this equation, the first equation. I'm going to multiply by 100. That's going to give me 5n plus 10d equals 390. Now, here's what I want to do. I know that I'm going to subtract d here. Subtract d. So n is equal to 48 minus d. If n is equal to 48 minus d, I'm going to plug that in for n. So 5 times 48 minus D plus 10D is equal to 390. 5 times 48 is 240 minus 5D plus 10D is equal to 390. Negative 5D plus 10D is just 5D. So 290. No, it's 240, not 290. 240 plus 5D equals 390. Subtract 240. Subtract 240. I'm left with 5D is equal to 150. Divide by 5. Divide by 5. We're left with D is equal to 30. So there's 30 dimes. And we know that nickels plus dimes is equal to 48. So that means that nickels must be 18. How many more dimes are there than nickels? Well, what's 30 minus 18? That's 12. Got it, guys, in 53Z. Moving on. I tried using the Q&A feature, but it just says submitting. Shafin, just try to reclose and turn on your Q&A feature. OPM is using I feel like I'm in school. Do we have Scrum Pack Bootcamp tomorrow? No. Next week, Thursday, Friday. Friday, 4. Guys, is there anyone that's having trouble using the Q&A feature? Just try to use it really quickly. Is anyone using the Q&A feature, guys? The idea is that Shafin just emailed me saying that his Q&A doesn't work. So maybe Shafin refresh. Maybe it's an isolated issue. But I think everyone knows the Q&A feature should work. Well, that's going on. Everyone should be checking the Q&A feature right now. I have a headache. I got E. Me too, Nisat. Alright, good job, guys. It was correct. Is everyone else's Q&A feature working? Because Shafin, if it's just you, then just refresh. The Q&A feature needs to basically appear in school this whole year. Nope, me too. Alright, let's get back to work, guys. Guys, do you hear the whirring fan noise, or is that a problem? Is that an issue? Because that's my computer, and it's cooling down the computer, but I was wondering if that's an issue. Hi, Shafin. Naeem, I can't hear you. I can speak. Guys, do you guys hear the whirring fan noise? Can you still hear me pretty clearly? The whirring fan noise is from the computer. It's cooling it down, but... Can everyone else hear me? It's lagging again, guys. Is it lagging? Shouldn't be. 54. In a period of 2 hours, Dan can make 60 charms, while in the same amount of time, Cavill can make 80. Hey. In the same amount of time, Cavill can make 80. If Dan works alone, how many hours will it take him to make 140 charms? Well, let's take a look. Well, Dan, in a period of 2 hours, Dan can make 60. Well, that means that every 1 hour, Dan makes 30. Right, guys? Every 1 hour, he makes 30. Now, we're trying to figure out how many he makes in how long will it take him to make 140. Well, I'm just going to divide this by 3. Divide this by 3. 1/3 of an hour, he makes 10. So I want him to make 140, so I'm going to multiply by 14. Multiply by 14. I'm left with 14 over 3 hours, which is going to be 4 and 2/3 hours. Well, what's 2/3 of an hour? Well, an hour is 60 minutes, right? So 2/3 of 60 is 40 minutes. So that's 4 hours, 40 minutes. Got it, guys? 4 hours, 40 minutes. So which is H. All right, guys, moving on. 55. The operation circle dot is defined for all non-zero numbers by the equation k circle t equals negative k minus t minus 1. Plug in the numbers. Plug in the number for k, plug in the number for t. So let's do this first. PEMDAS. I can't hear anything clearly. Your voice sounds weird. It's not that loud. Nope, everything is fine. Maybe it's your specific computer, guys. But let me see what I can do here. I can try to improve your sound quality by not really much I can do, but is that better, guys? Is that better? Is that better, guys? How about now? Any better? Alright, guys, I've tried to fix audio just a tiny bit, just to move it up in pitch, but hope it works now. Alright? Now it's definitely lagging. Waiting for other reports. Is it lagging, guys? Is it lagging? Yeah, guys, I think Zhuhan, I think Lone it's your internet. I don't think it's on my end. I think it's on your end. But okay. Now we have 4 circle my negative 1, circle 2. So let's do some plugging in. So negative, and then we're going to plug in k. So 4 minus, we're going to plug in t. So that's 4 minus negative 1. Got it, guys? Make sure you watch out for that. That negative 1 is t, and they're still going to have that extra minus in there. And at the end, you need that minus 1. And then we're going to do this part later, after we do this part. So 4, that's going to be, well, what's that going to be? Well, that's going to be 4 plus 1. So that's going to be negative times 4 plus 1 minus 1. 4 plus 1 is 5. That's going to be negative 5 minus 1. That's negative 6. Got it, guys? So that's negative 6. So all of this comes out to negative 6. So that's going to be negative 6, circle 2. Now what do we do? Well, we do the same thing again. That's negative. What's k? K is negative 6. Then minus. What's t? T is 2. Minus 1. Negative 6 minus 2 is negative 8. Negative times negative 8 is 8. 8 minus 1 is 7. Answer is B. Got it, guys? 55 is B. It's good, it's perfect. I can hear you clearly. It's lagging, Lalone. I'm next to my router, Lalone. It's just them. I can hear and see perfectly from the start. Lalone, this must be you. I can't hear anything different. It's good, it's perfect. I can hear you clearly. Guys, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm using pretty high-end equipment. So, and obviously I showed you guys some internet speed yesterday. So you guys should be able to hear me clearly. But if you're not, check your internet speeds, right? Report back to me what they are, right? I think that could be the problem. I believe on my end, you know, I have maxed out my internet speeds and all of that nature. 56. The volume of the cube is 64 inches cubed. What is the surface area of the cube? Well, if you think about this, we know that the volume of a cube is equal to side cubed, right? The volume of a cube is equal to side cubed. Now, that means that side cubed is equal to 64 inches cubed. Well, that must mean that side is the cube root of 64. The side must be 4, not 8. 8 is the square root of 64. We're looking for the cube root of 64, which is 4. So if my side is 4, how do I find surface area of a cube? Well, surface area of a cube can be found by the formula 6s squared. What's my side? 4. So 6 times 4 squared. That's 6 times 16, and that's going to be 64. So 64 inches squared. Moving on. 57. A trapezoid and a rectangle have the same area and the same height h. Well, clearly these things, well, this diagram kind of shows that. If the bases of the trapezoids are a and a plus 10, what is the width of the rectangle in terms of a? Well, they have the same area. Everyone got that? Now, if they have the same area, what is the width? Okay, so we know, let's call this the width. Everyone sees that? Well, let's take a look. How would you find the area of this trapezoid? Well, area of a trapezoid, we should know, is base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2 times height. What's base 1? A. What's base 2? A plus 10. Divided by 2, what's height? H. Well, that's going to be 2a plus 10 divided by 2, which is a plus 5. Got it? So that's height times a plus 5. And that's equal to height times width. That's how you find area of a rectangle, right? Area of a rectangle is length times width. So it's height times width. Well, look at this. Height times a plus 5 is equal to height times width. Well, if you divide by height on both sides, we're left with that a plus 5 must be width. And that's what we're looking for. Moving on. Number 58. 1.23 times 10 to the 4th plus 3.4 times 10 to the 5th is equal to n times 10 to the 5th. In the equation above, what is n? Well, there's a couple ways you can do this. 58 is pretty interesting, but there are a few things you should see, right? The first thing you should see is that you kind of have to figure out what you want your exponents to be here, right? Because you have different exponents here, right? And in order for us to do that, we kind of have to have the same exponent. Got it? So what I'm going to do here is, does everyone see that 3.4 times 10 to the 5th? 3.4 times 10 to the 5th. Well, let me ask you something. Isn't that the same as saying 34 times 10 to the 4th? Because I have moved the decimal 1 to the right, so that kind of I can take 1 away from that exponent. So now I have 1.23 times 10 to the 4th plus 34 times 10 to the 4th. And now, because I have the same thing I'm multiplying by, I can just add the numbers. Got it? That's how easy it is. I can just add the numbers. So 1.23 plus 34 is 35.23. So that's 35.23 times 10 to the 4th. Now what am I actually do? What is n? Well, n is what? Well, n is, what is n times 10 to the 5th? Okay. Well, how do I make this in terms of times 10 to the 5th? Well, if I move the decimal 1 to the left, I'll have to add 1 to the exponent. So it's going to be 3.523 times 10 to the 5th. That's G. That's kind of interesting. Number 59. We have S is equal to 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. The median of the set S is equal to the median of set T, which consists of 11 positive integers. What is the largest integer of the set T? Well, that consists of 11 consecutive positive integers, right? So I'm just going to take the median of this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The median is 13. So the median of set S is equal to the mean of set T. So the average of set T is equal to 13. Now, we know that this set T consists of 11 consecutive positive integers, right? That's the average, right? So what is this large? So the average of set T is 13. How do we find the sum of set T? Well, we know it consists of 11 numbers. So 11 times 13 is equal to, well, can someone do that for me? Well, it's equal to 143. All right, now, what is the largest integer of the set T? Well, we know that the sum of set T is equal to 143. How do we account for 11 consecutive positive integers? Well, we would do x plus 11. What we would do? Well, we know it's we don't necessarily have to do it that way because we know the average of set T is 13, and the mean is equal to the median when you have consecutive numbers. So we could kind of break it out that way. So we know that the fifth term, because the mean is equal to the median, we know that, well, in 11 terms, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that sixth term, we know it's going to be the median, and we know that's going to be 13, because the mean is equal to the median. We can account for that. We can just find the large integer. So that's going to be 14, because it's just consecutive positive integers, 15, 16, 17, and 18. But again, we could also use this way. We know that the sum is 143, and we could do x plus 1 plus x plus 2 plus x plus 3 plus x plus 4 plus x plus 5 plus x plus 6 plus x plus 7 plus x plus 8 plus x plus 9 plus x plus 10, and we could set that all equal to 143 and solve for x, but I think that way was easier, the one we just did for that one. Alright, so that's that. Answer is B, 18. Moving on, 60. K less than 1 and h minus 2k equals 0, which of the following must be true? We did a question like this yesterday. If h minus 2k equals 0, add 2k. Add 2k. What are we left with? H is equal to 2k. Now we want to plug in for k, right? So we want to get h. So we know that h is equal to 2k, so divide by 2, divide by 2. We know that h over 2 is equal to k. So instead of k, I'm going to put in h over 2. So h over 2 less than 1. Well, all of these are in terms of h. So multiply by 2, multiply by 2, I'm left with 2h is less than 2. No, not 2h. H over 2 times 2 is just h. So that's just going to be h less than 2. Got it, Jay? All right. Any questions? Any questions, guys? Any questions? All right, let's move on. 61. Repeat 60. I didn't get it. Okay, we have k less than 1 and h minus 2k equals 0. So again, we work with this and we're going to plug in into this. So h minus 2k equals 0. Add 2k, add 2k. H is equal to 2k then. Divide by 2, divide by 2. H over 2 is equal to k. Now instead of this k here, or wherever it was, I'm going to put in h over 2. So just so I can have my answers look like this. So h over 2 less than 1. Now I look at my answers and they're all in terms of h, not h over 2. So I'm just going to multiply by 2 on both sides to get rid of that over 2. Now I'm left with h. 2 times 1 is 2. H less than 2. What was 58? 58 was G. Alright, moving on. 61. A is equal to 0.5b. If A, B, C, D are positive integers, which is the largest one? Interesting. This is how I do this. This is how I do this. Maybe turn up your volume. Maybe there's a mute sign. Maybe you did something weird. Maybe you need to watch the video afterwards. Oh, you can't hear me. So maybe mute. Submit. Okay. Now this is how I do these. Take a look. A is equal to half B. Well, if A is equal to half of B, that must mean that B is greater than A. Everyone got that? Because A is half of B. Now C, so now A can't be the largest. Now C is double B. Whoa, so if A is half of B and C is double B, that means that C must be bigger than B. So B is greater because C is double B. Now, if 2/10 of D is equal to C, just 2/10 of D is equal to C, that must mean that D must be larger than C because 2/10 of D is equal to all of C. So D is the answer. D must be the largest. And 59 is B. Alright, moving on. Oh, I should give you this break. Oh, no, let's just do this one. This is 5 to the 4th plus 5 to the 4th plus 5 to the 4th plus 5 to the 4th equals. Now, there are no exponent laws for adding bases like exponents or different exponents. There are exponent laws, however, for multiplying bases with exponents. So, take a look. We have 5 to the 4th. As you said, we have 5 to the 4th. So that's equal to 5 times 5 to the 4th. Just like if you have 2 plus 2 plus 2, that's equal to 3 times 2. We have 5 to the 4th here. Now 5 is just 5 to the, well, what is 5 to the 1 times 5 to the 4th? Well, a to the m times a to the n is equal to a to the m plus n. That's going to be 5 to the 1 plus 4, which is 5 to the 5th. Got it, guys? Easy stuff. Make sure you know the little trick. Alright, we're going to take a short break again. So until 12:11. Alright guys, I'm back. Alright, sorry guys. The computer was sleeping and I couldn't take the computer off to sleep and something else weird happened, but let's get started. Alright guys, ready? Ready guys? I have proof alone. This how I break guys, the map moving. Guys, we're back. We're back. It's back. No, you don't go. We're back, guys. We're back. It was lagging a lot. It shouldn't be lagging anymore. Guys, we're back. I can't hear you. Yeah, you are. And names to break on 12, which you have to be back by 12:11, not 12:18. Name, there's no sound. No sound. There should be sound, guys. There should be sound. Is there any sound, guys? Any sound? We should be able to hear me now, guys. Let's see. I am talking, guys. Any questions? You guys should be able to hear me, right? Any questions, guys? You guys should be able to hear me. Guys, it's still lagging. It's gonna be lagging right now, as of now. Lagging. Okay, let's do it. So, what do we have? We have AC is 2, DB is 3. Now let's look. So, our ratio is 2 to 3. So, our smaller one is 2, and the larger one is 3. So, 2 over 3 is what? Well, take a look. This small one is x, so is equal to x over what's the larger one? Well, the larger one is 15. Got it? Just like we did smaller side over large side, smaller side over large side. We should do smaller over large here also. Got it, guys? Now we can cross multiply here. So 2 times 15 is equal to 3 times x. 30 is equal to 3x. Divide by 3, and we're left with x equal to 10. What's up with your voice? Voice is fine. Alright guys, come on. Ready? Let's keep going. Moving on, number 64. Negative 4 plus 24 divided by 8 minus. How much greater is the result of the above computation performed? Parentheses and if performed without parentheses. We can hear now, but we hear a half or a fourth of your sentences. Really, guys? Just give me 1 second. Let me see what I can do here. Alright guys, how about now? Should be better, right? You guys should be able to hear everything. I can't understand what you're saying. How about now, guys? Can everyone understand what I'm saying, guys? Come on. How about? Alright, I have increased the volume to maximum mine, but I didn't change any settings. But let's see. How about now, guys? Can you guys hear everything? I've increased the gain on the microphone, but that helps. Alright, I'll try to do 63 again. If you guys can hear me. Alright, now we should always do smaller over larger. So, we should always do smaller over larger. We're trying to create a proportion here, right? These two triangles are similar because they have two angles in common, which are these two vertical angles, and have this right angle. Got it? So, when two triangles have two angles in common, the two triangles are considered similar. Now look, AC is 2 and BB is 3. See how the corresponding sides? So corresponding sides, we can build a ratio around them, right? So you guys should be able to hear me. I don't want that not to happen. OpenAMI, just give me 1 second. I want you guys to be able to hear me. Let me see what I can do here. My default my playtest sound voice. Yeah, it's working. It's still like nobody can understand the question at all. Let's see what I can do for you guys. Just give me 1 second. Alright, how about this, guys? I'm not gonna close off the session, but I am gonna close off this session. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna post a link to the new session. Got it? So I'm just gonna build a new hangout. I'm gonna end this hangout and I'm gonna make a new hangout. Does everyone got that? Did everyone get that? So I'm gonna post a link to the new hangout on the event page. Got it? So just go back to the same event page and hit that link. So I'm just gonna like restart my computer and everything in about 10 minutes. Got it, guys? So I'm gonna restart my computer, restart the microphone, and then it shouldn't lag anymore. So just take another 10-minute break, and then I'm gonna post the link to the new stream on the event page. Got it, guys? On the event page for this event. Got it? So I'm just gonna post a link right now. So just give me a second, guys. I will post the link. Got it, guys? Just give me a second.